Toronto has every right to trade whoever they want. At the end of the day, players are simply assets. But, and I'm a little biased here because DeMar DeRozan is an LA guy. What DeRozan's talking about is, I thought I earned a different level of respect, and he did. First of all, nobody signs as a free agent in Toronto. He did when he was a free agent. He didn't even take a meeting.
Right.
What he's talking about is a respect of courtesy, that they should have gone behind closed doors and said to him, hey, I know this is going to shock you, but we've got a chance to get Kawhi Leonard. We're going to make the big play here. I wanted you to hear it from me. I think they owed him that. I'm with you, Neek. I sympathize with DeRozan here.
So, I mean, I sympathize with him, but I think if they would have told him that, it wouldn't have made him feel any better. I think that he's saying that it would make him feel any better. It wouldn't have made him feel any better. He would have been just as upset, and that would have put the Raptors in a tough spot, because if it falls through, then they're stuck with a guy that they knew that may be upset at this point. That doesn't mean they shouldn't do it. Like, because it's hard to be honest with people doesn't mean that you shouldn't be honest with people. And I'm not sure the point you're making by saying that you had to move a lot. My dad was in the Army. We moved a little bit, and it hurt. Yeah. And I was sad, and I wanted somebody to listen to me. And for some reason, you expect people to have sympathy for the thing that you went through, but because DeRozan...
I'm not asking for sympathy. I just brought it up. It was a parallel situation. Yeah. It kind of is what it is.
So, but you accept that it was difficult for you. How come it can't be difficult for somebody to commit to a place and have the rug pulled from under them? And players are more than just assets. Like, that is not...
I get that, and I get that they're humans, and who are we to count their money and all those sorts of things. And obviously, it's challenging, and he showed his loyalty, but I think the first thing you learn, and I feel like he's just learning it now, there is no loyalty in this game, all right? In sports, in this industry, whatever it is. There is none. And we've all had to learn that lesson before, and it stinks. But one other thing I just want to add, how many players are fortunate enough to retire and play with one team? Kobe, Dirk, Duncan, that's it.
Yeah. Well,
nobody
brought up
does
a
that.
great point. You know, I always laugh because I came from TV news. I was in TV news for 26 years. And the way they market a TV news team is, this is our Channel 9 family.
Yeah.
And then one day somebody will come in and go, your contract's up, you're out. And they literally just take one person's picture and put it into the other person's. Molly, it's a great point. In business, people always say it's business, it's not personal. And DeMar DeRozan just learned that the hard way, is that at the end of the day, it's not your family.
You can say it's business, but it's not personal, but we are people. It always gets personal. Yeah. Anybody who's been in any sort of professional relationship or personal relationship, a business relationship, you spend enough time around people, you sweat and you bleed and you improve in the way that he does to improve that team and that city, any organization or any group, any relationship, you get some sort of equity in your heart. And
what's your gripe? Is it that they traded him, or is it how they handled it? What is it? What's your issue?
No. My gripe is how they handled it, and also how people respond to it. I get so tired of reading and hearing people say, but he's making so much money, or saying it's a business. Yes.
There's a bank in every city.
He found out that he was getting traded when it hit the newswire. You believe?
Oh no, I don't.
You don't think he was called at all ahead of time or spoke to anyone ahead of time?
I'm basing it on what he was saying, is that it seems like he was blindsided, and whether he was blindsided or not, I don't think necessarily matters as much as it feels like there's a double standard. The expectations for players, their loyalty, the expectation there is different than expectation for teams and their loyalty, and it bothers me.
So Molly reminded me of something during the break, that DeMar DeRozan opened up this year about his battle with depression.
Yes.
And mental illness is real. He was brave to open up.
So appreciate Kevin Love also
Kevin Love did. Yes. I mean, I was diagnosed as bipolar 1 20 years ago. You got to be an active part of your mental health treatment. And so I'm much more sympathetic, and maybe the Raptors should have been more sympathetic, knowing that he has had these battles in the past. Maybe they should have been a little bit more careful about it.
Hey, I'm going to take a different branch on this tree because I don't hear anybody talking about it. DeRozan is a fantastic player, an all-NBA player, and a great guy. The Spurs are getting a great player. So if he can get past this story may have a happy ending. He may go down there, get next to LaMarcus Aldridge, get next to DeJounte Murray, get a world-class coach in Greg Popovich. This may end differently than he even thinks it could end.
I hope so. As someone who has not been traditionally a Spurs fan, this makes me want to root for them. And this goes back to the argument we've been having for a couple days about Kawhi Leonard. I love knowing the real players. It makes me like them more. It makes me believe in them more. It makes me root for them more. So I love that he is coming out and telling us that this it's BS or essentially it hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
I don't want the response to that to be like, shut up and play, or this is a business. You know what that does? That silences future players, and then we end up with guys who are giving us what they think we want to be.
No, I think it's fine if he wants to voice his opinion. I'm just saying the reality of the situation.
Right.
We've all had to learn those tough lessons at some point. It just feels like he's learning it now because he's been with this one team. And speaking out on the mental illness, that will have far more impact than anything he can ever do on the court. And I think that's so major. So many props for him, especially the stigma we know it can have for males. And when he did that, I so appreciate him and Kevin Love, and just wanted to echo that one more time.
Well, and DeRozan, if you think about the way he handled it, and you said he learned a very valuable lesson.
Yeah.
DeRozan, at the end of the day, is going to probably be traded again. Like, it's not probably, most guys don't play for just two teams.
Yeah.
So maybe he learns how to play. Some guys find their rainbow in a completely different city. Look at Chauncey Billups, who works for us on the ESPN side. He was on his 4th or 5th team before he finally popped.
Or at some point he calls his own shot. He says,
Right.
you know what, I'm done in San Antonio. It's time for me to make a decision for myself. I'm going to go
this
to a new
back
city.
to the point that I'm making about the double standard, and we see
Right.
it all the time. The players,
When he does, we shouldn't hold it against
The players
him. Right.
have just started recently in the NBA, started to take control of the league in a way that we're not used to. And the fan reaction, the media reaction is that they're upset and appalled by it. I am all for the people, the workers, taking control of their destiny.
I'm for labor,
in all
too.
situations.
I'm with you too, and I'm with the players, but I also feel
However-
at the same time we have to have perspective in life. And some people are starving, some people are being separated from their families, and you're an NBA player making multi-millions and millions of dollars.
Right.
And I get that it's a tough pill to swallow, but at the end of the day, this is a business. We're not in the business of making friends, and it's a tough reality, and he had to face it.
Agreed, but I mean, we're on First Take talking sports. We're not talking starving children. So if you want to debate,
that's real life.
if you want to debate starving
That's
children,
real life
I agree.
problems.
Starving children
These-
deserve sympathy also.
By the way,